So for this last problem, we have 2d through f, which is going to be estimating the area under the curve. So we're estimating the area under the curve f of x equals x squared from 0 to 1, using 4 subintervals. So all this means is that you're going to graph the x squared from 0 to 1 only, and you're going to split that into 4 equal intervals. So in this case, obviously, it's going to be from 0 to 1/4, 1/4 to 1/2, 1/2 to 3/4, and 3/4 to 1. So using the left side sum, so we have 3 sums. We have the left side sum, the right side sum, and the midpoint sum. So this is using our left side sum. So we have to first draw the graph and split into 4 intervals, which I already said. So those are our intervals right there. And that's going to be called our length of our intervals. So now we're going to bring it down and we're going to find the height of each interval. Because the point of this is to be drawing rectangles under the graph in order to find the rough area of it. So we're finding the height of the intervals, of the subintervals, using f of x. So x in this case is going to be the left side of the subinterval. So we're going to plug that x into our function x squared. So we're going to come down here and we're going to say interval 1 height is f of 0 because, as you can see, our interval 1, the left side is the 0. So we're going to have f of 0. Interval 2 height is f of 1/4 because our left side is the 1/4 of interval 2. Interval 3, we're going to have f of 1/2 because 3 left side is 1/2. Interval 4, we're going to have the height as f of 3/4 because, again, left is 3/4. So once we plug 0, 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4 into x squared, we're going to get these numbers: 0, 1/16, 1/4, and 9/16. Step 3 is now we're going to multiply those heights by their respective lengths of each subinterval. And those subinterval lengths, as we know up here, were all 1/4 because we split this into 4 equal sections. So the lengths of all of our things are going to be 1/4. So we're going to take that interval 1 and we're going to say 1/4 times 0 because 0 is the height and 1/4 is the length. And we're going to get 0. Now we're going to do interval 2 where 1/4 times 1/16 because 1/4 is the length again and 1/16 is the height, as we found up here. 1/16 is the height. 1/4 times 1/4 is 1/16, and then 1/4 times 9/16 is 9/64, and this is all of our rectangle areas. Now, lastly, we just add the rectangle areas. So we add those numbers and we get 14/64. This is your LRAM, your left side sum. Now, I'm going to just explain how to do the right side and the midpoint so that you guys can try it yourselves. So we're going to do all the same things in the beginning here. From step 1 is exactly the same. Step 2, you're going to, instead of the heights being used from the left number of the interval, they're going to be the right number of the interval. So now interval 1 height is going to be f of 1/4 rather than f of 0. Interval 2's height is going to be f of 1/2 instead of f of 1/4. Interval 3's height is going to be f of 3/4 instead of 1/2. And interval 4 is going to be f of 1 instead of f of 3/4. This is going to, you'll see, this is going to make the areas of the rectangles a little bigger. Step 3 is going to be exactly the same. We multiply their respective lengths to their respective heights, and lengths are all going to be 1/4 again. So 1/4 times whatever number you got for the heights, using the right side, f of the right side. You're just going to add those and you're going to get the right side sum. Going on to the midpoint, going back to section 1, to step 1, we're going to do this exact same thing. You're going to split those intervals. Step 2, you're just going to, instead of finding the height using the left or right side, you're going to find the midpoint of each of the subintervals. So for instance, from 1/4 to 1/2, you're going to have the midpoint of that. And you're going to use that f of x as your x. You're going to use the midpoints for all of the sub-intervals for the midpoint, for the midpoint sum. Going down to step 3, you're going to just multiply again, 1/4 times your heights, and then going down and adding it at the end. So again, going back up to the step 2 for midpoints is just, instead of using the right or left side, you're going to use the midpoint. So from 0 to 1/4, that would be 1/8. You would use that as your f of 1/8 as interval 1, and so on. Thank you.